Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Casa the Geek, where I will be fighting a 100-point kill team battle between my Deathwatch and Harris's Tau Konauts. Squat Tau. So the story that we were going on with this here is that a small colony of squats managed to survive the Great Devourer consuming their entire race. And had found refuge out here on the fringes of the galaxy. And had started up a civilization. They had found friendship in the greater good, going with the Tau for both protection and to further their own ways. And they had fully committed to the greater good and had actually established their own hierarchy of society based upon how the Tau established their society. When the Imperium found out about this, they were not very happy and just a little miffed and decided to send in their Xenos Hunters to go purge them and make sure that this never spread and never got out to the rest of the Imperium. So that's the story that we're going with. The mission we're going to be playing is we're just going to be doing a purging. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to do essentially like No Mercy, except we're just going to, from regular 40K, we're just going to be trying to kill each other. And the idea is whoever kills the most points worth of models will win at the end of it. So we'll just do the 5 rounds and we'll do that and see who has killed the most at the end of it and go with that. So that is the story that we've got going on. That is the mission that we're going to play. Before we go any further though, let's show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Deathwatch from left to right, my kill team will consist of my leader, who is a Watch Sergeant with a Xenophase Blade and a Bolter. We then have a Black Shield, who's my Combat Specialist with a Power Sword and a Bolter. We have a Veteran Comm Specialist with a Bolter. We have a Heavy Specialist with an Inferno Heavy Bolter. And then we have 2 Veterans with Bolters. So for the Tau, from left to right here, his kill team will consist of a Fire Warrior Shazwi leader with a pulse rifle. We then have a Fire Warrior Breacher Shazwi with a pulse blaster, who will be his demolitions expert. We then have a Pathfinder Gunner with a rail rifle, who will be his sniper specialist. Then we have a Pathfinder Shazwi comms specialist. We then have 3 Pathfinders and 6 Fire Warriors. Those are the kill teams. Now going over deployment for the Deathwatch over here. We've got my Heavy Specialist along with the Comm Specialist and a regular Veteran with them. We've got my Combat Specialist up in front there. We have my leader and my other regular Veteran back over on this end. Going over deployment for the Tau squats, we have his demolitions expert up front there. We got the sniper specialist over here. We've got the comm specialist and the leader, and then we have a whole bunch of his pathfinders and his fire warriors over here. So that is going to be a deployment for them. So now we will roll off to see who will have initiative going into turn 1 over here. I got a 5 and I got a 4, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tau here on turn 1.
Pretty good.
All right, movement phase for the Tau here on turn 1. These guys all moved up over this way. These 2 guys readied themselves. He moved up to get up into the corner over here. These guys readied themselves. These guys moved, and he advanced. His demolitions expert up there advanced. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Tau. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Deathwatch here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Deathwatch here on turn 1. These guys all moved up over this direction. My Combat Specialist advanced up into the rafters over here. Both my leader and my Veteran over here advanced to their positions. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, we're going to start with the Pathfinders over here. First one is going to fire into my Combat Specialist. He's obscured, but within half range of his marker light. It is heavy, but he readied and did not move, so that doesn't make a difference. So hitting on a 5. No hit. Second guy's going to do the same thing. No hit. All right, his Comm Specialist back here is going to do the same thing with his marker light. That is a hit. All right, my opponent's going to spend 2 CP for uplinked marker light, which means that he gets a D3 marker lights as opposed to just the 1.
D3 plus 1.
Oh, D3 plus 1, sorry. So it's going to be 2 plus 1, so 3 marker lights onto him. All right, so now his sniper specialist here is going to fire into my comm specialist. He's going to get +1 to hit from the comm specialist into my combat specialist, not my comm specialist, into my combat specialist over here. So he's going to get +1 from his comm specialist. He's going to get +1 from the marker light because he's obscured, but -1 from being obscured himself, but he's within half range. So it's going to be 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because he's the sniper specialist. Getting 1 hit.
On that too. That's okay. Wounding on a 3.
Strength 5, right?
6.
Strength 6. Yeah. So wounding on a 3.
6 to wound, you take a mortal.
6 to wound is a mortal. That is 1 wound though.
-4.
AP -4?
Yep.
Oof. All right, AP -4, so that's just going to go straight through.
Damage.
D3 damage, giving 2 damage. So he's got 2 damage rolls here, or injury rolls.
And you are flesh wounded.
So I am going to be flesh wounded because it's -1
sure.
because of obscured and being within an inch there. All right, so now he's going to activate, those were all the readied guys, so now he's going to activate his demolitions expert. He has a pulse blaster, which is assault 2. At the range that he is to my guy over here, it's going to be strength 5, AP -1. Because of the 3 marker lights on him, he's going to ignore the penalty for advancing, so he doesn't have a -1 for that. But he is obscured, but because of the marker light, he's going to ignore that, so he's going to have 2 shots now. These are going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. No reroll. Strength 5, so wounded on a 3. No wound. All right, so now I'm going to activate my heavy specialist over here. He's going to spend 1 CP for more bullets, so I'll have 4 shots with his heavy bolter profile of his weapon. The comm specialist is going to give him +1 to hit. I'm going to fire 2 shots into the guy on the right of this group and 1 shot into each of the other ones. So we're going to start with the guy in the front here. He is he's going to be, he doesn't have obscured, but he is more than half range, so it's -1 to hit, +1 to hit because of the con specialist, so it's going to be 1 shot hitting on a 3. That is a hit with a fill face, strength 5, so wounding on a 3. That is a wound, AP -1. Ooh, 1 second. So now we're looking for a 5-up save because he's got -1 wound there. Nope, that's a 1, so let's see if he is out of action. Nope, on a 2, he takes a flesh wound. 1 second. All right, I'm going to spend this CP to re-roll that injury roll into a 6, so he is out of action. And now into the guy in the back there. He's now not obscured, so this is going to be hitting on a 3. That is a hit. On a 6, he is wounded. 5-up save. Oh, he's good with a fill face. And then 2 shots into the other guy who is obscured, so these are going to be hitting on 4s, I should say. Not with that. All right, so his Pathfinder here is going to fire a marker light into my heavy specialist over here. He's got, he moves, so it's -1 because of heavy. He's obscured and more than half range, so it would be hitting on a 7, but 6s are always hit in kill team here. So looking for a 6, fill face, no. All right, so now my regular veteran over here is going to fire into his fire warrior back over there. So he's going to be hitting on a 5 because he's obscured and more than half range. That is a hit. Wounded on a 3. That's a wound.
On a 4.
No save. Injury roll. He's out of action with a fill first.
Combat.
All right, so now this fire warrior here is going to fire into my combat specialist. So he's within half range, but he is obscured, but ignoring that because of the marker light. So he's just going to be hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s because of the marker lights as well. All right, so that's 2 hits.
Wounding on 3s.
Strength 5, so wounding on 3s. Getting 1 wound. AP, nothing on that, so looking for a 3-up save. Yeah, with a 5. Woo! And now my comm specialist is going to fire into his fire warrior over here, hitting on a 5 because of range and obscurement. No hit. All right, so now his fire warrior back here is going to fire into my comm specialist. He's going to have 2 shots here. Hitting on 4s, getting 1 hit, wounding on a 3, no wound. The next guy is going to do the exact same thing into him, getting re-rolling 1s because of marker light. No, still no hit. And his 3rd fire warrior from this squad, getting no hits. And now his leader is going to fire into my combat specialist, hitting on a 4. That is going to be 1 hit. That's going to be 1 wound. Looking for a 3-up serve. No, goes through. So here we go. Wounding +1 to this roll, -1, so 4 up. On a 6, he is out of action. All right, and that is it for the turn here. So no one has to take any morale tests because he didn't kill. No one killed more than half, and no one has any flesh wounds that's left alive there. So now we will go on to turn 2, finding out who has initiative. I rolled a 7. My opponent rolled a 10. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Tau. All right, movement phase for the Tau here on turn 2. His guys over here moved up into a concealed position. These guys, this guy readied himself, as did his comm specialist, his sniper, and his pathfinder over here. This guy moved over here. His sniper moved up over on top here, so that's his leader down there. This guy over here moved, and this guy over here, his demolitions expert, advanced up over this way. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Tau. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Deathwatch. Movement phase for the Deathwatch here on turn 1. All 3 of these guys moved up to this concealed position up over here. And both of these guys moved up into position over here, getting a little bit closer to his guys. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so we're going to start off here with his Markalite bro shooting into my heavy bro. He's going to be obscured, so -1 to hit, but he's within half range, so he's going to be hitting on a 5. No hit. All right, so his comm specialist here is going to fire his Markalite into my dude bro over here, hitting on a 6. No. This guy over here is going to fire his Markalite into my leader, hitting on a 6 because of range. Nope. His leader now is going to fire into my leader. So he's going to have 1 shot here, hitting on a 6.
Nope.
No hit. All right, so now his sniper rifle guy here is going to be shooting into my leader over here. So he's going to have 1 shot. It's going to be, is it more than half range or?
Let me check.
1 second. All right, so he moved with a heavy weapon. He also is more than half range and obscured, so it's going to be on a 6 regardless of the comm specialist, which we were trying to figure out here. So it's 1 shot on a 6. No hit.
Yeah.
All right, my opponent's going to spend a command point on that one. No hit. All right, so my heavy specialist is going to go now. He's going to spend command point on more bullets, and I'm going to fire into these 2 guys. I can't see that guy, so I'm going to put 2 and 2 into each of them. So they are obscured, but they are within half range. I'm going to get +1 from the comm specialist, so it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 3s. We'll go in the front one first. So that is no hits. I'm going to spend CP to re-roll one of these. Whoa, off the table. Into a hit, wounding on a 3. No wound. And then into the second guy. That's going to be 1 hit. That is a wound with a fill first. 5 up save. It wanted to. I saw the fill face coming. Did not want to betray me, so it kept moving. No, so he is going to be. He gets +1 to this though, because he's there. Because of -1. I'm sorry for the obscurement. And on a 4, he takes a flesh wound. All right, then his other pathfinder here with the Markalite is going to shoot into my leader. No hit. All right, so now my leader here is going to fire into his demolitions expert over here. He's within half range, not obscured, so it's going to be hitting on 3s. I'm going to use the wounding on 2 special issue ammunition. So getting 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That is a wound with a fill face. 4 up save. He's good.
5s.
All right, his fire warrior over here is going to fire into my comm specialist. So he is within half range.
And
he's going to get the +1 from the comm specialist, so it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s. 1 hit, strength 5, so that's a wound. 3 up armor save. He's good with a 5. My guy over here is going to fire into his demolition specialist over there. 2 shots hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit, wounding on a 2 because of special issue ammunition. That is a wound. 4 up save. No. Is he out of action? On a 5 he is. This fire warrior in the middle there is going to shoot into the comms. He's -1 because of the flesh wound, -1 because of obscurement. So it's going to be hitting on a 6. No hits. My comm specialist is going to put both shots into the guy who hasn't shot yet. So it's going to be 2 shots. He's obscured, so hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits.
3.
That is 2 wounds. 2 4-ups. Oh, he makes them both. And then this guy's going to do the exact same thing into my comm specialist. There's 2 shots. That is 1 hit. Whoop, off the table. That is a wound because of strength 5. So 3 up armor save. Yeah, with the filpers. Woo! And now my middle guy here is going to fire into the far guy over there because it's the one he can see. He's just over 12 inches away, so it's going to be one shot hitting on a 5. That's hit with a fill face. That is not a wound. This guy over here is going to fire 2 shots into this guy over here, hitting on 5s because he's within half range but obscured. Getting 1 hit. That is a wound with a fill face. 3-up save. Yeah, he's good. All right, so that is going to be it for turn 2 here. We have one guy who's got a flesh wound, but he can't fail because he's got those 2 guys next to him with bonding knife. So he is good to go over here. Tau players for the win right there. Let us know. So here's what it comes down. So what it comes down to is there's 3 guys out and he's got 2 guys next to him. You get the basic +1 for having a friendly model that's not shaken within 2 inches of you. But the bonding knife says you have a -1 for every, bless you, for models within 3 inches that also have the bonding knife. So we're thinking it's an additional +1 for them, or -1 for the roll, whatever, to his benefit. Another 1 to his benefit on the roll there to see if he's okay. But let us know if you think it's different. So just let us know there. Yeah. So that's so that is going to be it for turn 2 here. So now we will roll to see who has initiative going into turn 3. I rolled a 3. My opponent rolled a 6. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tau. All right, so movement phase here for the Tau. Everybody just readied themselves for the Deathwatch as they're going to be coming at him right here. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Tau. We'll come back to you with movement phase for the Deathwatch. All right, movement phase for the Deathwatch. Both my leader and this veteran moved up to different positions. All 3 of these guys moved up to this position over here. And that is it for movement phase. So we'll come back to you with the shooting phase. The Tau shooting phase first, since they're all readied. All right, we're going to start off with this marker light guy here. He's going to fire his marker light into my heavy bolter guy over here. So he's going to have 1 shot. He is obscured, so hitting on a 5. No hit. All right, my opponent's going to spend a command point to reroll that. No hit. All right, his comm specialist is going to shoot his marker light into my dude bro over here on a 5. No hit. Next guy is going to fire his marker light into the same guy over here. No hit. And the third guy is going to fire a marker light onto my leader over here. No. All right, so his sniper now is going to fire into my heavy bolter guy over here, into my heavy specialist over here. So he's going to have 2 shots. Is there a 1 shot?
Rapid fire 1.
Rapid fire 1. So he's going to have the 2 shots here. These are going to be hitting on +1 because of him, but he is obscured, so it's going to be -1. So he's going to be +1 and -1. So he's going to be hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. Getting 2 hits,
3s.
Wounding on 3s. Oop, getting 1 wound.
That's gonna be enough.
Getting 1 wound.
-4.
-4, so that's just going to go straight through. And a wound, he takes a flesh wound. All right, so now the front guy with the pulse rifle is going to fire into him over here. So it's going to be 2 shots, hitting on 5s. Getting 1 hit.
Wounding on a 3.
Wounding on a 3. That's a wound. 3-up armor save. He's good with a 4.
No.
All right, so there's actually 1 damage. So now we're going to find out. He's now going to roll to see if he's out of action. He's not. Takes a flesh wound. Next guy's going to do the same thing. Or the next non-injured guy's going to do the same thing. So that's 1 hit. No wound. And now the injured guy's going to shoot into him, hitting on a 6 though because of the flesh wound there. Getting 2 hits. That's how you do it. He's showing him how to do it with the fill faces there. Getting 1 wound. Looking for a 3-up armor save. He's good with a 5. And this guy here is going to fire into my dude bro here. He's not obscured from his position. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. That is a wound though with a fill face. And that's a failed save. Oh, 1 second. All right, I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. With a 5, he's good. All right, so now my heavy specialist here is going to fire into these guys over here. He's going to get +1 to hit from my comm specialist. I'm going to fire both profiles of his weapon, and I'm going to spend extra bullets on the flamer portion of it. So the flamer portion will be D6 +1 shots into them. So D6, we're going to be 6 shots into them. So I'm going to put 2 into each. So we'll start with the front one over here, hitting on 3s. So that's gonna be wounding on 3. Sorry, that's gonna be 2 wounds there. AP -1.
5 ups.
5 ups.
Nope.
No. Is he out of action?
No.
He is not. He takes a flesh wound. Into the second guy over there. That's gonna be 1 wound into him, -1. So looking for a 5 up. Oop.
That's not doing that.
Oop. Nope. Nothing there. +1 to this. Oh, he is out of action for sure. Yep. And then into the back guy over there. That is gonna be 2 wounds. 2 armor saves here. Making, failing 1. Oh, failing them both, but still, he is also dead. All right, so I declared my shots 1 into each, so he's got 1 shot with a heavy bolter into him over here. This is going to be -1 to hit because I fired both profiles, -1 to hit from obscurement, but +1 to hit because of the comm specialist. So a 3 will not hit. All right, so my regular dude bro is going to fire into him as well. 2 shots, -1 because of obscurement. No, not on double ones.
2 more.
All right, so now my comm specialist is going to fire into him. 2 shots hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits, wounding on 2s, specialist ammunition. That is 2 wounds, so it's going to be 2 4-up saves. Fails them both. Is he out of action? No, he takes a flesh wound. My leader is going to fire into this dude bro over here. That is 1 hit. That is 1 wound. But that is a save. And then my guy over here is going to fire into him as well. That is 2 hits. That is 2 wounds. Oh, but he champs it with 2 saves. Oh. All right, so that is the end of turn 3 here. We do have some leadership tests to take here. He's got 2 guys. He's not over half, so no one has to roll for a break test here. But these 2 guys have to take nerve tests. So at this point, they need to roll 1s to auto pass here. So we're gonna have the first guy up here. On a 4, nope, he is going to be shaken, and on the back guy over there is also shaken with a fill face. So that is going to be it for the turn here. We will now roll to see who has initiative going into turn 4. I rolled an 8. My opponent rolled a 4, so we'll come back to you after a movement phase for the Deathwatch here on turn 4. All right, movement phase. These guys moved over here to get some better line of sight in his back line over there. And now these 2 guys are both going to charge. So we're going to start with the front guy over here. He's going to charge into him. He is within 6 inches of this guy, so he is going to have supporting Overwatch here. So it's just going to be 3 shots. For the greater good is going to be taking into account here. So 1 second. All right, my opponent's going to spend 2 CP on baited trap on this guy here, so he can fire Overwatch on 4s. So he's going to fire his first over here, so 2 shots, hitting on 4s, getting 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That is a wound. AP nothing, so looking for a 3-up save. Show me that felt first. No, I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll that save. Into a 4, he's good. Woo!
2 on 6s.
And then 2 on 6s over here, getting 1 hit. That is a wound. Looking for a 3-up. With a 4, he's good. And now his charge into him. On a 8, he's in. And now my leader is going to charge into him over here. Needed a 9-inch charge to get in. No, on a 7, he will not get in. Movement phase for the Tau. He readied, he moved, he readied, he moved, and he readied. He is locked in combat, and these 2 guys are shaken. So we will now come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, we're going to start off with him shooting his marker light into my heavy specialist over here. On a 5, that is a hit. So he will have a. He's going to spend 2 on uplinked marker light. So it's 1 plus D3. So 1 plus 1 is 2. That's enough. This guy back here is going to fire his marker light into my leader. On a 5 is a hit.
Okay, so it's just 1.
And then his sniper specialist is going to put 2 shots into my heavy specialist. So he ignores the the obscurement. So he's going to be having 2 shots hitting on 4s, hitting on 3s because of the comm specialist. Yep. That's 2 hits.
Wounding on 3s.
Wounding on 3s. That is 1 wound. So D3 damage.
4, D3.
1 damage. So is he out of action? +1 to this roll, but -1 for that. So he takes a second thingy-majob. All right, so my heavy specialist is now going to activate. He's going to spend 1 CP for more bullets. He's going to put 4 shots into his sniper specialist up here. I'm going to have 4 shots. These are going to be -1 to hit because of obscurement, +1 to hit because of the comm specialist, and -1 to hit because of that second flesh wound. So 4 shots hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits with fill faces. Wow, talk about feast or famine there. So he's going to be wounding on 3s. That's going to be 1 wound with AP minus 1. 1 5-up save. He's good with a fill face. So now his leader is going to put 2 shots into my leader over here. So he's going to be, he has the 1 marker light on him, so you can reroll 1s, but he's going to be hitting on 5s. Getting 2 hits, pretty good. 3s to wound. Getting 1 wound, looking for a 3-up save. He's good with that fill face. Woo! All right, so now my comm specialist is going to fire into his or my regular guy, I'm sorry, is going to fire into his comm specialist over here. 2 shots hitting on 4s because of obscurement. So that's 2 hits, wounding on 2s because of special issue ammunition. That is going to be 2 wounds. 2 4-ups. That is both saves. All right, so this guy back here is going to fire into, with his pulse carbine, is going to fire into my heavy specialist. He is going to be hitting on 5s because it's -1 to hit because of range, ignoring the obscurement because of the marker light. So he is now going to be hitting on 5s, but re-rolling 1s because of the marker light. Re-roll that 1. So that's 1 hit.
3.
No wound. Now my comm specialist is going to shoot into his shaking guy over here. 2 shots, hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits, wounding on 2s because of special issue. That is 2 wounds, 2 4-up saves, making 1, failing 1. Oh, but he takes a 2nd flesh wound.
Okay.
All right, so now into the close combat phase. My dude bro here is going to attack into his guy. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit, wounding on a 3. No wound.
On a 5.
And he's got his 1 guy hitting attack here, hitting on a 5. No hit. All right, so that is it for turn 4 here. We will now have come back to you. We're not going to do the morale phase. So we've got 1 guy over here looking for a 1. Yeah, nope, not with that fill face. And then the other guy over here on a 1. No, both of them are going to be shaken again. So that is going to be it for the turn 4. Now we will roll to see who has initiative going into turn 5. Whoop. Okay, we both knocked over one of our dice off the table there. It was like synchronized. So 7 to 5. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tau. All right, so movement phase for the Tau. These guys both are shaken. He readied himself. These guys all readied themselves. They readied themselves. And he fell back out of combat with my veteran. So that's it for movement phase for the Tau. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Deathwatch. All right, movement phase for the Deathwatch. Everybody over here readied. My leader readied, and he just decided to stay still since he's only had 2 options since he started the movement phase within an inch of the enemy model was to stay still or fall back. So he's going to just stay still. Can't ready him, but he will be shooting. So here we go. That is it for the movement phase. Moving into the shooting phase. All right, so his sniper is going to start us off by shooting into my heavy specialist. He's going to have 2 shots hitting on 5s. Rerolling 1s, but not that 2. But he's going to spend a CP to reroll that. All right, so that's going to be 2 hits here. Here we go. These are wounded on 3s. Getting 1 wound. That was probably the one that you spent the CP to reroll. You know it. Yeah. Here we go. D3 damage because it's AP -4. 3 damage. So here we go. 3 dice.
I roll a 3
with 2 here. So it's plus
3 dice.
So it's +2 because of the flesh wounds already. -1 because of that. So it's going to be a total of +1 to this. Can he roll? Oh, he is out of action.
All 3 of
my regular guy here is going to fire into his comm specialist. He's going to get +1 to hit because of the comm specialist, of my comm specialist. -1 to hit because of obscurement. So 2 shots hitting on 3s. Getting 1 hit, wounding on a 2. I knew that was going off the edge. There we go. That's a wound. 4-up save. No. Is he out of action? On a 4 he is. Now his leader is going to fire into my leader over here. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 5s. Getting no hits. All right, so now my leader is going to fire into this dude, bro, in the front here that fell back. So it's going to be 2 shots. He, from my position there, he is obscured from the guys there, so it's going to be hitting on 4s. He's shooting over that guy's shoulder, so that's going to be 2 hits, wounding on 2s. Getting 2 fill faces.
He wants it.
Here we go. But he makes both those saves. Now this guy in the back here is going to activate. He's going to fire into my comm specialist over here. He is going to have 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 6s. Getting 1 hit.
Wounded on a 3.
Wounded on a 3. Here we go. No wounds. My comm specialist is going to fire 2 shots into this guy, hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit. Wounding on a 2 because of special issue ammunition. That is a wound. 4 up, save. He's good. And this guy back here is going to fire into my front guy over here.
Nothing.
That is nothing. No hits there. And the front guy over here is now going to fire the last shots of the game into his front guy over here. 2 shots hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit. Wounding on a 2. No wound. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. Into a 3, so that is a wound. 4 up, armor save.
1 more.
Can he do it? Can he champ it
guy.
out?
Yeah!
With the fill face. That guy, no woos for you. That guy has put on his armor properly. He has champed so many saves. All right, so that is the end of the game. We're not going to do the morale test because the parameters that we put out for this didn't make a difference. So even if he had broken, and even if these guys were shook, it didn't make a difference to the way we put for the scoring for this game. The way we did it was just how many points have you killed. So I lost both my black shield and my heavy specialist. They came out to a total of 36 points. My opponent lost his demolitions expert, his comm specialist, and a bunch of fire and 4 fire warriors there, which comes out to 47 points. So real close, just off by 11 points. If he had killed one more of my guys, he would have had the win. I mean, you can't get much closer than that. One failed save or one better wound roll, whatever it is, it could have made the big difference there. But so a victory for the Deathwatch. They will continue to purge this misbegotten colony of squats that have given over to the greater good improperly. So so a victory for the Deathwatch. A ton of fun as always. Really love this game and really love just the way the pacing works for it. So a great time. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Harris, and until next time, have fun.